Sagittarius, tonight while you sleep, two things will happen. Part 1. The first flame. Sagittarius, tonight while you sleep, the first truth will travel through your dreams like a spark through darkness. It won't whisper or disguise itself in riddles. It will arrive clean and bright, like a shooting arrow cutting through clouds. A mask will fall, and the image revealed will show you exactly who or what has been dimming your fire. There will be no confusion, only recognition, the kind that sets your soul straight. You've felt it before, haven't you? That quiet knowing behind your ribs, the one you brushed aside because you wanted to believe in someone's better nature. Tonight, that intuition returns, not as a whisper but as a flame that refuses to go out. It will illuminate what has been hidden in plain sight. The dream will not frighten you, Sagittarius. It will clarify you. You'll see it unfold like an ancient play performed only for your eyes. Someone or something that has drained your energy, perhaps through envy, perhaps through subtle manipulation, will show its face. It might be a friend whose words never matched their intent, a partner who fed off your warmth without giving light back, or even a part of yourself that kept saying yes when your truth was screaming no. The revelation will be precise. There will be no noise, no shouting, just the clean cut of realization. And when you wake, you will not feel fear. You will feel relief, the kind that spreads like morning sun over your heart. To anchor this moment, say it now or write it where your eyes can see it. I, Sagittarius, open my inner sight and reclaim my fire. These words are not decoration. They are ignition. Each syllable realigns your energy field. Each breath after that decree reminds the universe that you are awake, aware, and unwilling to live half-lit. When you claim your fire, everything false around you burns quietly away. The people, habits, and thoughts that once drained you will start to detach on their own. There's no need for conflict. The truth does the work for you. Tonight, your dream will feel unusually vivid. The air inside it will glow with color, movement, and purpose. You might find yourself walking through a corridor lit by torches or standing beneath an open sky full of constellations that pulse like living embers. Follow the light. In one of these scenes, you will notice a gesture, small, quiet, undeniable. Maybe a door half open. Maybe a hand turning away. That gesture is the message. Tells you where your energy has been leaking. The person or situation it reveals will not appear monstrous or threatening. They'll appear tired, dim, transparent. The illusion falls not with violence but with truth. And you, Sagittarius, are ready for truth more than anything else. When the moment of recognition happens, breathe deeply. Let your chest expand like the horizon before dawn. Don't resist it. Don't search for more evidence. The dream will give you exactly what you need, no more, no less. When you wake, resist the urge to analyze. The mind will want to dissect every detail, but this message is not for your logic. It's for your instinct. Trust that the symbol itself carries the full meaning. Truth does not need to be explained. It needs to be honored. The fire of awareness can be intense, but do not confuse intensity with danger. Fear and awakening often arrive wearing the same face. When you feel your heart beating faster as you recognize what the dream showed you, know this. It's not panic. It's your intuition stretching its wings. It's the ancient part of you that always knew how to navigate darkness with light. You were born under a sign that sees farther than others. Tonight, that gift sharpens to precision. You may see symbols that repeat. An arrow suspended mid-flight. A flickering candle that refuses to die. A horse galloping toward a horizon that glows gold instead of red. Each image has meaning. The arrow represents focus, where you must aim your energy next. The candle is your endurance, the part of you that keeps shining despite the wind. The horse is your freedom, a reminder that you are never truly trapped, only paused until the truth arrives. And when you see these, nod gently in your dream. That nod is agreement. It's you telling the universe, I understand. Because tonight is not punishment, it's permission. The cosmos is returning your sight. It's handing you back the map you misplaced while trying to please everyone else. The truth coming through your dream is sacred, Sagittarius. Treat it as such. Don't speak of it lightly. Don't seek validation from others when you wake. This revelation belongs to you and you alone. When you awaken, there will be a stillness in the room. The air will feel thicker, charged. Sit up slowly. Place your hand over your heart and repeat softly, I saw what I needed to see. You will feel warmth spreading beneath your palm, That's your inner fire aligning. The same fire that once guided your ancestors under the stars. It will hum quietly throughout your day. A reminder that nothing external has power over your light anymore. If you feel sadness, let it pass through like smoke. Grief is not a sign you're weak. It's evidence that you once cared deeply. But grief also means the cycle has ended. You no longer need to carry the weight of illusions that served their time. Tonight, the universe simply turned on the light and you saw. That's all awakening ever is. Sight returning to the eyes that once agreed to be blind for the sake of love. Sagittarius, there is courage in seeing clearly. Many resist it because it burns. But you, the archer, were born to look straight into light. That's your divine gift. To hold truth without flinching. To aim at what matters without fear. So tonight, when the dream shows you who or what must be released, don't fight the message. Thank it. Bless it. Because it marks the beginning of a new alignment. One where your energy stops leaking and starts radiating. By morning, your body will know something has changed. You'll notice how your breath feels smoother, how your thoughts feel cleaner, how your reflection in the mirror looks steadier. That's because clarity doesn't just heal the mind, it rewires the soul. It calls your scattered energy back home. And from this night forward, you'll start to recognize a pattern. People who once confused you will seem transparent, conversations will reveal what was hidden, your intuition will finish others' sentences before they speak. You're not imagining it, your perception is expanding. The dream opened a new lens, and now the world must adjust to your sharper sight. Before closing your eyes again, whisper to yourself the words that seal this initiation. I, Sagittarius, open my inner sight and reclaim my fire. Let your voice be soft but certain. As those words leave your lips, imagine a golden light radiating from your chest, spreading through the room, reaching every part of your life. That is your energy field cleansing, reordering, strengthening. The first truth has been shown. The arrow has been released. The fire burns not to destroy but to illuminate. What comes next will not frighten you, it will free you. Now rest, archer. Your flame has work to do while you sleep. Part 2. The arrow of recognition. Sagittarius, the dream deepens. The first flame you saw is only the beginning. Now the truth begins to shape itself into symbols. And those symbols start speaking in the language only your soul understands. You find yourself walking through a vast landscape, part sky, part memory. The ground beneath your feet glows with embers, warm but not burning. The air feels alive, heavy with meaning. You are not afraid. Your spirit recognizes this place. It is the inner terrain of intuition, where truth hides until you are ready to see. In this dreamscape, you notice something moving in the distance. A faint shimmer like heat rising from desert sand. As you draw closer, you begin to see outlines, people, places, moments that once felt like home but now look dimmer, smaller. One figure turns toward you. No words. Just a gesture. Maybe a look that used to charm you. Maybe a silence that once confused you. Yet this time you see it for what it truly is. The illusion drops away like a veil in the wind. There's no drama, no confrontation. Only understanding. It lands in your body like a quiet arrow of recognition. This is the moment when the universe tests the depth of your stillness. Will you react as you once did, trying to reason, explain, or rescue? Or will you simply stand in your light and let truth reveal itself fully? Sagittarius, this is your sacred trial of silence. In the past, you may have fought to be understood, pleaded to be heard, or tried to hold together what was already collapsing. But now the stars themselves whisper. You do not need to chase what is already falling away. Tonight, justice doesn't come as revenge. It arrives as distance. And that distance is peace. The more you stay centered, the more you'll feel the weight of manipulation crumble. Because your silence this time is not weakness. It's authority. The archer's quiet is sharper than any weapon. When you withhold your energy from chaos, you disarm it completely. You will see more symbols as the dream continues. Perhaps a burning arrow frozen in midair, a golden compass turning toward the east, a mountain peak illuminated by lightning. Each carries a message. The arrow reminds you. You no longer need to shoot at every shadow. Your energy is too valuable to waste on convincing others of their truth. The compass tells you that your direction is changing. Where you once pursued validation, you now follow alignment. And the mountain, oh Sagittarius, that mountain is your mirror. It rises alone, untouched by the storms that swirl below. That's what your spirit is becoming. Tall, still, unshakable. In this lucid moment, you'll feel the dream shift again. The air cools. A soft wind brushes past your shoulders, carrying the scent of rain and firewood. A paradox only the archer can appreciate. It's the fragrance of purification. You may hear your name whispered through it, not as a warning but as a reminder. You are not meant to dim your flame for anyone. This sentence will echo inside you, and with each repetition something unhooks. A pattern, a tie, a false attachment. You'll feel it physically, as if cords of old energy are loosening from your back. That is freedom returning to you in real time. Now watch closely. The figure that once drained your light starts to fade, becoming transparent, dissolving into the air like smoke. Don't reach for it. Don't mourn it. Let it go. The universe removes what cannot stand in truth. You don't have to exile anyone with anger. The energy does it for you. What remains, Sagittarius, is clarity so clean it almost stings. That is what divine seeing feels like. There will be a brief flash, maybe a symbol painted in flame across the dream sky, or a phrase that repeats like thunder beneath your breath. It could be no more or not again, or perhaps just your own name spoken with strength. That phrase is your threshold. Memorize it not with your mind but with your heart, for it will return to you tomorrow as intuition. When you awaken, it will guide your decisions without hesitation. Remember this truth. No one meant for you will ever ask you to silence your inner knowing. The people aligned with your soul will recognize your fire, not fear it. Those who belong will not shrink before your light. They will rise beside it. You might see yourself next in front of a great mirror made of light. Step closer. The reflection that meets you is not the one you remember. Your eyes are sharper, your posture stronger, your aura glowing gold. You'll notice that the reflection nods before you do. That is your higher self, the part of you that already knows what to release, what to keep, and what to trust. Let that version lead. In the waking world, this dream will change how you move. You'll start noticing subtle things. A conversation that suddenly feels wrong. An old friend whose tone reveals jealousy. A situation that drains you without reason. Don't overthink it. What your dream showed you was not fantasy. It was rehearsal. When these moments appear, you'll already know what to do. Walk away with grace. Choose stillness over reaction. Trust that the silence you hold now is rewriting everything. Sagittarius, your peace has become your justice. Let that sink in. The universe has seen the battles you fought, the words you swallowed, the times you gave second chances to those who weren't ready. It knows how exhausting that was. That's why this revelation comes now. Because you've proven you can hold truth without rage, clarity without cruelty. You've earned your peace. Now let's return briefly to the dream. A door flickers in the distance, glowing faintly with golden fire. You're not meant to open it yet, only to see it. That is the door of the second revelation. The next stage of your transformation. Behind it lies abundance, opportunity, and alignment. But before it unlocks, the universe requires your full presence here. In this first truth, you must close the energy leak completely. So stand there for a moment. Feel the air shift. The fire within you steadies, turning from wildfire into torchlight. Focused, warm, unbreakable. That's your soul in balance. It doesn't rage anymore. It radiates. And as you hold that torch high, the dream begins to fade into dawn colors. Gold, crimson, and indigo melting together. You will wake soon. Before you do, breathe deeply and repeat within yourself. My silence is strength. My peace is power. My truth is my shield. These are not just affirmations. They are spiritual codes that will stay in your aura for days, protecting you from what once drained you. When you awaken, you might feel lighter in your chest, as though someone removed invisible weights from your ribs. That is the sign that the first truth has completed its work. You've seen clearly. You've released with dignity. And the universe, pleased with your restraint, begins to prepare the next gift. For tonight, that is enough. The arrow has found its mark, and the illusion has burned clean. Tomorrow brings a new kind of fire, the fire of creation. Rest now, Sagittarius. The night honors you. Part 3. The Awakening of Fire. Sagittarius, the night does not end here. What you saw in the first flame was only the beginning of your liberation. Now, as you drift deeper into sleep, the fire begins to change color. It's no longer the sharp blaze of revelation, but a steady golden glow that surrounds you like a shield. This is the second layer of the dream, where your spirit begins to rearrange what the first truth exposed. What has been seen cannot be unseen, and now your soul starts the quiet work of realignment. You stand before the landscape of your own history. Moments rise like stars, childhood memories, familiar faces, echoes of laughter, and scenes that once made you doubt yourself. You feel no pain. You are simply witnessing. The archer within you observes with calm detachment. There's a stillness that feels almost sacred, as if every heartbeat is synchronized with the universe itself. You realize you are not just dreaming. You are being shown the architecture of your destiny. One memory begins to shimmer brighter than the rest. A time you tolerated too much because you believed compassion meant endurance. You see yourself giving and giving, even when the fire inside you was burning low. But now, within this dream, something miraculous happens. The old scene rewrites itself before your eyes. Instead of shrinking, your dream self straightens. Instead of apologizing, you breathe and step back. You feel your solar plexus, that golden center of will, ignite. It's the moment your boundaries return home. And with that, every version of you that once doubted their worth exhales in relief. The fire intensifies, but it's not destructive. It's cleansing. It burns away guilt, fear, and every fragment of self-doubt that once told you to play small. This is what spiritual rebirth feels like, not chaos but recalibration. Your energy reclaims its natural hierarchy. Your light stops apologizing for shining. You see it clearly now. Compassion without self-respect is not virtue, it's erosion. And tonight, that erosion ends. Suddenly, the dream shifts again. You find yourself standing in a great circular hall made of stone and flame. Its walls carved with symbols you somehow understand. Constellations, arrows, suns, eyes, spirals. Each one pulses like a heartbeat, and you know instinctively they are marking the stages of your growth. A soft voice, perhaps your higher self, perhaps the universe itself, speaks from everywhere and nowhere at once. The fire is your teacher. It does not burn to punish. It burns to reveal. You close your eyes, and in that darkness, you begin to see new light patterns forming, lines of energy connecting stars into meaning. They form the shape of a bow, and then an arrow, drawn but not yet released. You understand. The arrow is your focus, your purpose, the direction of your energy. For too long, you've scattered your fire across unworthy battles. Now the universe hands you back your aim. Whisper softly in the dream. I, Sagittarius, trust my divine fire and follow where truth guides. The moment those words leave your lips, the arrow begins to glow. You feel its heat through your chest, not as pain but as power. It's the confirmation that your spirit has accepted its new mission, to move only where truth points. No more wandering into half-light connections. No more silencing your instincts to keep the peace. From now on, your energy travels with precision. And then the scene transforms again. The fire around you lifts into the sky, forming constellations like golden rivers. They move in waves, showing glimpses of the future. Not detailed events but feelings. Satisfaction, abundance, love that doesn't hurt, purpose that doesn't drain. You sense how close these realities are, hovering just beyond your waking horizon. The message is clear. Clarity creates arrival. You don't need to chase destiny. You only need to stay aligned with it. The dream now takes you back to Earth, where you see yourself walking along a path made of glowing embers. Each step you take cools into solid ground. It's the symbol of creation through consciousness, your every action shaping reality behind you. A wind rises, carrying sparks that gather around your feet, and you realize that your path is not built by others' permission but by your choices. The fire doesn't burn the earth. It blesses it. Then, without warning, you see the shadow of someone you once loved deeply appear on the horizon. Their figure flickers, unstable, as if made of smoke and memory. You feel neither longing nor anger. Instead, you feel gratitude. They were the mirror that taught you what your boundaries truly mean. You step closer only to bow your head and whisper, "Thank you for the lesson." The shadow dissolves instantly, and in its place stands a younger version of you, smiling free. You feel warmth travel from your spine to your crown, a surge of energy so strong it almost lifts you off the ground. This is the awakening of fire within the body. Your physical self will remember this. When you wake, you'll feel lighter, as though your organs are singing. It's not imagination. It's the nervous system recalibrating to a higher vibration. You are literally being rewired for truth. You might see numbers in this stage of the dream: 333, 999, or perhaps 144. Don't panic about decoding them. They are confirmations, reminders that your transformation is divinely timed. 333, your guides are near. 999, completion. 144, alignment between heaven and human. The message remains constant. You are on the right path. In the dream, your surroundings begin to glow brighter. The hall fades into a field beneath a rising dawn. The fire softens into golden sunlight, spreading warmth across your skin. You look down and realize you're holding something. A key shaped like an arrowhead, carved with runes of flame. It hums gently in your palm, alive. You somehow know this is the key to the next stage, the second truth that waits beyond the door of abundance. But you're not meant to use it yet. You must first awaken completely, physically and spiritually ready. Before the dream closes, you hear one last sentence echo from the sky. You are the flame that guides others, but you must guard your own warmth first. It settles into your bones like a vow. This is the moment you understand the sacred paradox of Sagittarius. Your fire heals, but it must not be spent recklessly. When you wake, you will feel two things at once: relief and restlessness. The relief of release, and the restlessness of readiness. That's how rebirth always feels. You've cleared the first gate. You've reclaimed your focus. The next step is manifestation. And as your consciousness begins to rise toward waking, you'll feel that same warmth in your hands. That is your creative energy returning. That's the fire that once flickered under doubt, now roaring steady with purpose. When your eyes open, the room will look the same, but you will not be the same one looking. The archer has awakened. Say it softly as your first breath meets the morning air. I, Sagittarius, trust my divine fire and follow where truth guides. Let those words linger, like embers glowing under the surface of your day. The awakening is complete. The flame has found its voice. And now the universe prepares to open the door. Part 4. The Door of Abundance. Sagittarius, the night's silence deepens, but within it something begins to move. The air hums with expectancy and you feel it, the shift. The fire you awakened has finished its cleansing, and now the universe begins to rearrange the outer world to mirror your inner transformation. This is the second truth, the revelation of abundance. As you sleep, a new current starts to flow toward you, the one that carries all that is rightfully yours. What once seemed distant now draws closer. What once felt blocked now opens with grace. You are entering a realm where energy becomes matter, where intention becomes tangible result. In your dream, the scene changes again. You find yourself standing before a massive door glowing with a soft golden flame. It's not made of metal or stone but of light itself, shimmering, translucent, alive. You recognize the key you were given earlier, shaped like an arrowhead, resting in your palm. You feel warmth pulsing through it, matching the rhythm of your heartbeat. The door waits. It doesn't demand, it simply offers. A voice rises gently from within, familiar and wise. This door opens not with force but with your name. You take a breath, steady and clear, and say softly, I, Sagittarius, receive what is mine in peace and purpose. The moment your words touch the air, the key ignites with radiant gold, and the door begins to open, not outward but inward, as though the universe is folding itself to welcome you home. Light spills out, bathing you in warmth so profound it feels like belonging. You step through and see a landscape unlike any you've known. Fields of light where seeds glow before they sprout, rivers of molten gold that flow without burning, trees whose leaves shimmer like promises fulfilled. The entire dream hums with abundance, not as luxury but as order. Everything here is in balance, give and receive, breathe and release day and night. You realize abundance was never about quantity, it was about coherence. When your inner truth aligns, everything outside falls into place. As you walk through this luminous world, you notice certain details shifting around you, symbols that form messages meant only for your understanding. You might see a table waiting under an open sky, an empty chair that suddenly fills with light, or a parchment appearing in your hands, signed with your name in fire. These are not dreams of fantasy. They are previews of manifestations. They signify that something long delayed is now ready to arrive. A payment, a message, an opportunity, or a long overdue apology. The dream shows you through metaphor what reality will soon deliver. A gentle wind begins to rise, carrying golden dust that circles your feet and moves upward in spirals. You feel weightless yet grounded, lifted but stable. The sensation is unmistakable. Worthiness. For the first time in a long while, you are not begging the universe for blessings. You are receiving them with calm certainty. That is the highest form of gratitude. The cosmos does not respond to desperation. It responds to alignment. And tonight, Sagittarius, your energy is aligned perfectly with abundance. The dream continues to unfold. You walk toward a great archway surrounded by symbols of the sun and moon entwined, fire and intuition, action and flow. There, an inscription glows in ancient script. Where there was waiting, now there is arrival. The words vibrate through your bones. You realize this is the decree you once spoke into the void, now returning as form. Every effort you made in silence, every act of faith you performed when no one believed, all of it was planting seeds in this very soil. And now the soil responds. You see a golden tree sprouting before your eyes, growing fast, its branches heavy with fruit. Each fruit carries an image within, an open door, a handshake, a new creation, a healed bond. You reach out and touch one. The instant your fingers graze its surface, a pulse of light travels up your arm, through your heart, into your mind. It downloads as knowing. Your time of holding on by faith alone has ended. Now comes the proof. You smile in the dream because something inside you recognizes that truth. You've worked, waited, believed even when it hurt. Now the universe meets your effort halfway. The difference is visible. The wheel is turning, and this time it turns in your favor. You're no longer chasing. You're being carried. But even in this bliss, another voice whispers gently. The voice of wisdom that has guided you all along. Abundance flows where boundaries exist. The message is clear. You must protect what is arriving. The gifts meant for you will multiply only if you handle them with respect. Say yes only where your spirit expands. Say no with peace where your energy contracts. Abundance is not just about having. It's about choosing. You are not here to hoard. You are here to steward. A familiar figure appears at a distance. Not a person but a presence. It radiates calm strength. You know this energy, it feels like partnership, collaboration, support. It may take form later in waking life. A friend, a mentor, a companion. But in this dream, it's simply the embodiment of divine assistance. The message is unmistakable. You are not alone in what you're building. The universe will send help that matches your vibration, not your wounds. As you stand beneath the archway, light rain begins to fall. Not cold water, but golden droplets that shimmer as they touch your skin. Each one carries a blessing. Health, peace, connection, opportunity. You let them soak into you, feeling your heart swell with quiet joy. The rain doesn't drench you. It crowns you. You are being anointed by destiny itself. And yet, as your hands fill with light, a fleeting shadow tries to appear. Guilt, uninvited but familiar. That old voice says, you don't deserve this ease. You smile gently because now you recognize it. You lift your head and say, I've graduated from scarcity. I am fluent in worthiness. The shadow dissolves instantly, leaving only the scent of freedom. You look around one final time before leaving this dream world. The golden rivers flow steadily. The tree continues to bear fruit. The door behind you glows, but now with your signature upon it. Everything in this realm responds to your presence because you finally remembered who you are. A creator, not a beggar. A vessel of divine will, not a victim of circumstance. The scene begins to fade. The golden light turns softer, transforming into the pale glow of early dawn. You hear the echo of your decree again, gentle but firm. I, Sagittarius, receive what is mine in peace and purpose. Say it again, both in the dream and when you wake. It is not wishful thinking. It's a statement of alignment. When your eyes open, you might find small confirmations waiting. A message from someone important, a new idea, a burst of motivation, or an unexpected sign of progress. Don't dismiss these as coincidences. They are your dream becoming real. The spiritual world always delivers through synchronicity first, material proof second. Sagittarius, your fire has learned discipline. It no longer burns uncontrollably. It warms everything it touches. You are stepping into a life where effort flows instead of exhausts, where receiving no longer feels like guilt but like balance. You have crossed from scarcity to sovereignty, from hoping to knowing. What lies ahead is the sacred dawn, the final part of your journey, and the question the universe now asks is simple. Will you rise to meet the light that calls your name? Part 5. The Sacred Dawn. Sagittarius, the horizon trembles. The night that carried your revelations begins to yield to the first breath of dawn. You sense it before you see it, that subtle shift in the air, the quiet hum of renewal. The dream dissolves, yet its essence lingers in your blood, glowing like amber beneath your skin. You are between worlds now, standing at the threshold of awakening, neither asleep nor fully awake, your spirit still radiant from the fire it just walked through. This is not the end of a dream. It is the beginning of embodiment. What was shown to you in symbols, whispers, and light must now be lived in action, breath, and choice. The second door has closed gently behind you, not to trap you but to seal your passage. The flame of revelation and the gold of abundance now merge into one. A single current of luminous energy flowing through your chest. You can feel it thrum beneath your ribs, steady and calm. That's not adrenaline. That's alignment. The same pulse that beats in the heart of stars is beating in you. The archer and the cosmos share one rhythm now. You open your eyes within the dream, and the landscape has changed. It's not the glowing fields or the corridors of flame anymore. It's a wide open plain under a sky painted with the colors of sunrise, violet, coral, gold. You stand barefoot on warm earth, the bow of your spirit resting lightly in your hand. For the first time you notice there is no target in sight. The lesson dawns quietly. The archer does not always shoot to conquer. Sometimes the arrow is meant to point home. The voice of your higher self speaks again, clearer than ever. This is the sacred return. You are coming back to yourself. The words ripple through your being, and suddenly, all the moments you once misunderstood rearrange themselves into coherence. Every delay, every heartbreak, every false start. All of it was choreography leading you here to this clarity. You see how the universe never forgot your address. It was waiting for you to stop chasing so it could deliver what was already yours. Now you look down at your hands. They glow faintly and you realize you are still holding the key, the one shaped like an arrowhead. But now it has changed color. It's no longer gold. It's transparent like crystal fire. Its meaning has transformed too. It's no longer for opening doors outside you. It's the key to the temple within. You place it over your heart, and it melts into you, becoming light. That's when you understand you are the door. Everything you seek opens through your own vibration. A soft wind begins to rise, carrying scents of cedar and sun-warmed soil. The horizon stretches infinitely, and you feel called to walk forward. Each step is lighter than the last, as though gravity itself is learning to respect your peace. The ground seems to respond to your feet, blooming faintly where you tread. You are creating reality simply by being aligned. You no longer force the path. The path reveals itself with each step. Then far ahead, you see something glinting in the morning light. A mirror standing upright in the middle of the field. You approach it slowly, already sensing this will be the final vision before you fully awaken. As you draw near, the reflection that greets you makes your heart swell. You see yourself, not the tired version, not the one who questioned everything, but the luminous being you've become. Your eyes hold galaxies, your expression carries peace, and your aura shimmers with unshakable knowing. The reflection nods to you once as if to say, "We made it." You smile. Not because you've conquered but because you've remembered. You bow your head gently in gratitude, not toward anyone else but toward your own resilience. The archer bows not in defeat but in reverence for the road that shaped them. Every scar became scripture. Every silence became wisdom. Every loss became direction. The voice returns, softer now, tender as a friend. You have seen what needed to be seen, released what needed to be released, and opened what was waiting. The rest is choice. The word choice echoes like a drumbeat through your mind. It is the most powerful word in your language. Every sunrise from this moment on will whisper it to you. Will you choose the version of yourself that dimmed her fire for approval, or the one who carries her flame proudly, even when it sets her apart? The universe cannot decide that for you, can only mirror what you choose. You inhale slowly, feeling that familiar Sagittarius restlessness stirring. But it no longer feels like impatience. Feels like readiness. You're not yearning to escape. You're preparing to explore. The difference is enormous. Freedom to you now is not about running. It's about standing tall wherever you are and knowing you belong. As dawn strengthens, the dream begins to fade. You hear birdsong in the distance, the sound of the world waking. Before the vision closes completely, one last image appears. The same golden tree from before, but now its branches stretch far into the sky. At its base lies a bough made of light and a single arrow resting beside it. You pick it up instinctively and it glows in your hands. The voice speaks one last time. Aim not to conquer but to create. Let your truth travel farther than your fear. You draw the bow slowly, release the arrow into the rising sun, and watch as it disappears into infinity. A silent promise between you and destiny. The dream dissolves, leaving only the sound of your own breath. You wake gently, your body relaxed, your mind clear, your heart calm. The morning light streaming through the window feels different, warmer, more alive, as though it recognizes you. Because it does. The external world always shifts the moment your internal world finds balance. As you sit up, place your hand over your heart and whisper the closing decree. I, Sagittarius, no longer dim my fire to be understood. I choose love that expands me. Let those words vibrate through your chest. This is your vow, your signature to the universe. Seals the transformation. It tells all forces seen and unseen that you are done living beneath your own brilliance. For the rest of the day, watch for confirmations, the small synchronicities that say you're aligned. A conversation that feels unusually healing. A sudden moment of luck. A number repeating on the clock. An opportunity appearing out of nowhere. Don't overanalyze. Smile and say thank you. That's the language of partnership between you and the divine. You are not being tested anymore. You are being trusted. And when night falls again, don't fear the return of sleep. The next dreams will not bring confrontation. They will bring creation. You'll notice your visions are no longer warnings. They are blueprints. You are not escaping darkness anymore. You are building light. You've crossed the invisible threshold from seeking to knowing, from longing to living, from wounded fire to divine flame. You've become both student and teacher of truth. The universe will begin to mirror your new frequency immediately. People will respond differently. Circumstances will shift effortlessly. That's how destiny acknowledges a soul who has remembered their power. Sagittarius, this is the sacred dawn. The moment your soul exhaled after lifetimes of holding its breath. You are not the same one who entered this night. You have walked through revelation and emerged as radiance. The two things that happened while you slept, the unveiling of truth and the unlocking of abundance, were never separate events. They were one process, the realignment of your fire. Now as sunlight fills the room, repeat softly. Peace, truth, clarity. These are your new companions. Walk with them. Let them guide you. And each time you doubt, remember the field, the door, the tree, the mirror, and the arrow that vanished into light. Those weren't just symbols, they were memories of what your spirit already knows. You are not waiting for miracles. You are the miracle. Welcome home, Sagittarius. The dawn belongs to you now.